Hello, good morning. I'm Dilip Thakore, editor of EducationWorld.
Good morning. I'm Summiya Yasmeen, managing editor. So here we are presenting our April 2026 issue of Education World.
Somewhat late, but better late than
Yes.
never because it's a very important issue.
Indeed, it's a very important issue because, Dilip, it has our annual Education World India Higher Education Rankings 2026-27.
In which we
many of you all know, we do it in two parts. In the April issue, we publish our top 400 government and private universities.
Universities, yes.
And in the May issue, we do our top 500 arts, science and commerce colleges, private B schools and private engineering institutions. But beyond
But
the...
no, I think
Yes.
Here we do universities, there we do colleges.
Yes.
Because they all come under the umbrella of higher education.
But in this issue, Dilip, we've got something else too, which is, I think, of greater import.
Perhaps, yes. Well, we've ranked America's best undergraduate education universities. We've done this with an American company called Launchpad PLC.
Yes.
And, it's very, very important because all these years, for 100, maybe 100 years or 50 years, companies like foreign companies have been ranking not only their own university, but also ranking our universities. Of course, our universities are all low rank. But the rationale of this is that this is for undergraduate education. And for the first time, an Indian media company has had the gumption or the cheek to rank America's best colleges for undergraduate education. According to us, and according to Raymond Rebaglia, who's done this ranking, the QS, THE, and other rankings are not reflective of the best undergraduate education. Why? Because they rank metrics, they rank universities according to metrics which are best for postgraduate.
Yes, such as, research citations index, endowment, admission selectivity, which is not of import to the undergrad education experience. So in our EW Launchpad rankings, the Launchpad steering committee especially has used distinct parameters which truly assess excellence in undergrad education.
Such as classroom size,
indeed,
classroom size,
experiential education, and most importantly, teaching focus.
Yes.
Our faculty, all these great research faculty, are they actually teaching undergrad students, or undergrad students are being taught by postgrad students and grad assistants?
Yes, exactly. Where the professors are very busy doing higher education, and undergraduates are left to their own devices.
Yeah, left to being taught by grad assistants and PhD scholars.
Yeah, so the metrics here and half of India's students who go to abroad or to America in particular, they go for undergraduate.
Yes.
So they are misled by the rankings of QS and THE and US World News Agency and others, because they're ranking colleges according to postgraduate metrics.
Indeed.
So this is very, very important.
Very important. In fact, we believe that our Education World Launchpad rankings are a big disruptor in the rankings ecosystem.
What are the other things that you like in this issue apart from the Launchpad rankings?
I think we've got some very interesting editorials which are on the Iran versus US Israel war, where we've taken a very important two perspectives, Dilip. The first one is that it's a just war being fought for wrong reasons.
We've justified the war, American war against Iran. We've justified it. We're saying it fought in a wrong way.
Yes. And the second one, I think, is more important, where we say that, a lot of commentators, Israeli and American commentators are using women's liberation, the liberation of women in Iran, as a
excuse for the war.
Excuse for the war. We say that's the weakest excuse, because the process of social transformation and change is more complex. A foreign power can't go overnight and liberate women and set right all human rights abuses overnight.
Yeah, it's important for us to write these editorials because they're short and even school children, senior school children, academics need to read it. When we go around and meet academics, they never discuss these subjects. I don't find that, but they need to be discussed at the schools, universities. That's how you create debating and conversational skills.
Indeed. I think we've also got some very interesting education news, right,
Yeah.
Dilip? There's one on the NCRT controversy of rewriting of history textbooks,
Yes.
because I think that's a very important subject.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
These are things that
How the entire Mughal period has been left
children,
out, etc.
senior school children, even middle school children, and senior school children, and teachers need to read all this and discuss it in their classrooms. I find that that's not happening. Whenever we meet teachers, they look blank when we ask them about these subjects. And then there's, of course, this State of Working India
Report.
26 of the Azim Premji University. It discusses why the 40% of graduates who come out of India's higher education institutions are unemployed. That's shocking because in America, Britain and all, it's about 4%.
Yes.
China is about 15%.
Yeah, in India it's 40%.
Yeah, and I don't see this subject discussed at all. So Azim Premji University, of course, done a very good job in discussing this. But in our opinion, they miss the wood for the trees. They're discussing all details, but not the big detail of more money needs to be put into the education system. And of course, it's not a squeak out of Azim Premji University. They're not responded or taught nothing. We have to create a sort of climate of debate in this country, especially about education. That's very disappointing.
Of course, I think there's some other interesting news from West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka.
And Karnataka, where there's some interest in skills education at last.
Yes, which is a good development.
Yes.
And also in our education notes section, very important because we bring education news from under discussed states such as Meghalaya, in the northeastern Assam, etc., where we don't hear much about what's happening in the mainstream media. So I think that's very important.
We've also done a thing on Navrachna International School, Vadodara.
An institution
very
profile.
Good school, it's a very from a reading of it, it's an excellent school and good results and very balanced, holistic education. And we're very lucky this time in expert comment. We've got a really high-powered trio.
Yes, expert comment.
There, Professor Narayan is Professor of Practice, Department of Ashoka University. Jaideep Prabhu is Professor of Judge Business School, Cambridge University, UK. And Mukesh Sood is Professor
at IIM Ahmedabad.
And they've written, how we need to move out of this jugaad culture. Managing somehow to fix things and make them run till they break down. Go into frugal disciplined innovation. We are very thankful to them for writing this.
I know, it's an excellent article. It's a brilliant article. Yeah.
And provides much food for thought.
Indeed. So, coming to our EducationWorld India Higher Education Rankings, Dilip, which is the main highlight of this issue. So, do you want to tell our viewers a little bit about our methodology? Because our methodology is quite unique and, in-depth and comprehensive.
Yeah, well, we use the perception methodology, unlike the Launchpad rankings, which we discussed earlier, which uses only published data. Publicly available data. Of the United States and very verifiable data. Here we don't have, in this country, we don't have a good record of data, data storage. So we are not able to do that, but we've done it by taking a very good sample respondents database, including students, professors, business people,
industry representatives,
and asking them to rank a limited number of universities. Only the top 500, 400. So it's going through the whole.
So I think most importantly, I believe that these our rankings are distinct because they also rank government universities. So
Yes.
we've got private universities and we've got government universities. And our philosophy from the beginning, whether it's India school rankings or higher education rankings, has been that we don't want to compare apples with oranges.
Yeah.
So all these universities have been very neatly categorized.
Yes.
So multidisciplinary universities are ranked separately. So liberal arts and humanities universities are ranked separately.
Yes.
Law universities are ranked separately. Engineering technology universities are ranked separately. Agricultural universities are ranked separately.
Which are usually never ranked.
Yeah. So this gives, I think, students and their parents very important information to choose most suitable and most aptitudinally suitable universities and
Yes.
institutions for them. They're very extensive. We've got national tables, we've got state tables, and also our parameters are very distinct, right,
Yes,
Dilip?
yes, because the importance, you should have a holistic and enjoyable education. I mean, education in India tends to be a crown of thorns for children. It shouldn't be that way. They should, any education institution should provide extracurricular, co-curricular education so that you get well-rounded, well-balanced children coming out of these institutions.
Yes.
But one very important caveat we should tell Indian universities and higher education is no use being only the best in India. Now the time has come, you have to be the best in Asia. You have to be the best in the world, because then you need some cutting edge technologies and innovations coming out of Indian universities, which all these years has not happened.
Yes, indeed. So I think you'd advise, aspiring students, parents, and institutional faculty and vice chancellors, promoters, etc., to examine our rankings in depth.
Yes.
Of course, for students and parents, it provides a wealth of information to compare and contrast, and make well-informed choices.
Yes.
And more importantly, for institutional faculty, vice chancellors, and promoters, it gives data points on their strengths and weaknesses and where they need to improve if they
Yes.
look at their parameter rankings.
Yes. Yeah, but I find, when we talk to people in higher education, they don't seem to value these rankings or tend to equate us with other, mainstream magazines which do it for revenue purposes. Whereas we do it for a serious purpose.
Indeed.
Anyway, let's move on.
Anyway, so
Then we have the Launchpad rankings.
Yes, we spoke about that earlier.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And they're remarkable because I think it's the first time that any media house in India, perhaps in Asia, has ranked American universities. Otherwise, usually it's the reverse.
When over 700 of them, Dilip.
700, yes, on totally distinct parameters which are valid for undergraduate.
Yes. And we also have we've managed a coup. We have a full-page interview also with the #1 ranked American university in these rankings,
Yes.
Kettering University in Michigan,
Yes, yes.
which has got the world's most unique co-op, 50% theory
Co-op
and 50%
meaning internship. Yes.
internship program.
Yes.
And we have an interview with their president, President Robert K. McCann, who's given an excellent interview.
Yes. Well, there's a lot of wealth here. And now it's up to our readers to read it and get back to us, and let's stimulate. I hope all this effort stimulates a debate which is missing in education. And then one very important, interesting teacher-to-teacher column which we've received unsolicited from abroad by one Ms. Georgie Ross, where she talks about oral skills, communications. Says that's one skill
that AI can't replicate,
and how important it has become, and becoming ever more important. Oracy, debating skills, what we're talking about,
indeed.
Discussion, debate, communications.
Yeah. And it's a content-packed issue, Dilip. We also have some very interesting people.
Yes, indeed. Manjeet Kriplani, who started a think tank in Bombay, perhaps the first think tank outside Delhi, and all women, started by women, and it focused on foreign policy. Then there's a math teacher who wants to banish maths phobia, which is pervasive, and then proctoring expert,
Yes.
and then cheating in exams, which is a national disease.
And a very interesting person, Mugdha Jain, who's writing textbooks, for CBSE class 10 and 12 on
Yes.
English.
And how to learn English.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And of course, as usual, no issue of Education World is complete without our book reviews.
Yes. This time book review is really quite mind-boggling about what's happening in China in terms of infrastructure development and building. It's a nation of engineers, according to the author. And they want to build, and they keep building. And they don't want to rest. And this is why now, according to the author, perhaps it's generally well known, China has overtaken America in infrastructure building. Because America is a lawyerly society, as the author says, where they want to prevent new building. Whereas China
is a nation of engineers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's something.
Yeah, and our second book review also is equally interesting.
Yes.
It's on the latest release of Arundhati Roy's book, Mother Mary Comes to Me.
Yeah.
A very interesting memoir, comment.
Yes.
On the socio-political
Yes.
condition
I read
of
the
our
book,
country.
I'm not sure I agree 100% with our review, which has come from one Amandeep Kaur. But anyway, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
And of course, then the postscript, where we talk about New Age Bourbon, that is the French dynasty of the 16th century. And the second thing is about let's mend our bridges with China. And then about IPL, which the lesson of the IPL is that capitalism works. Anyway.
So that's our April issue. But before we go,
Yes.
would you like to tell our viewers also about ParentsWorld?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, everywhere, everybody is very worried about social media addiction.
Yeah.
So now, the author of this has discovered, the author of this issue has discovered
the joys and timeless wisdom of indigenous Indian board games.
Indian board games, which have come from so many years. And now a lot of more people have started playing them.
Yeah.
And Ludo, Snakes and Ladders, chess, according to the author, originated in India.
Yeah.
And then went abroad and came back again.
Yeah. It's a very interesting story how, tips are offered. There's actually a revival movement around the country, Dilip, of, getting parents, children interested in playing Indian board games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a way of weaning them away from social media addiction. Well, that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please read Education World, start a debate, get back to us. We are not oracles of wisdom. We are not always right. We could be wrong. Please get back to us.
Yes.
Thank you.